They took what we threw away as trash, and they in turn would make a bomb, an explosive out of it, something to kill us. You know, punji sticks in the ground that would, if you stepped on this, they made like a panel, and you stepped on it, went in like this. The punji sticks, which had feces and dirt and all that on it, they end up getting your leg. So eventually, by the time they get you back to the hospital, they have to cut your leg off.
Alrighty. In your opinion, what should you teach our children today about Vietnam?
The history of Vietnam is a lesson to be learned. Is that we fought a war, and if you all research it, and the young people today, if they research it to the point and understand that there was a pulling in of many blacks going to the war, and poor whites, as well, we call them trailer trash, but I respect those of us that fought over there in Vietnam, and that was a bullshit with me. But I would have to tell them, you need to learn about your history, which I find in today's society, many young people don't have no concept of their history. All they know is, I can go out with this white girl and have a good time off. I can go out with this white guy and have a good time. Speaking in terms of blacks going out with such and such. But years ago, when I was a child, I could not, per se, walk on the same side of the sidewalk almost with a white person. I had to step off the sidewalk and let them pass. But here again, young people need to know about the history. There's a lot missing, And some of their family probably was in Vietnam. They have no concept of what a war is about. They have no concept of what this war is about. But I've seen several young men join the military, and they've been over to Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as in Syria, this conflict in Syria.
Alrighty. Was Vietnam worth it?
No.
No, it wasn't.
Because we lost the war. We had to abandon the embassy. That's where a lot of troops went out in the embassy. We left a lot of equipment there, helicopters, fighter jets. We left one of the biggest asphalt hills in the world was right in Da Nang, at the base of Da Nang. All that was left. They flew helicopters out to the carriers and or ships that had a landing pad on it. Everybody got out, then they pushed the helicopter over the side. I mean, there was helicopters on top of helicopters being pushed up because they had no room on board the ship to keep them.
And my last question for you is, were there any lessons that you've learned and that you have been able to carry through life?
Yeah, it's called respect. Respect the people. Pay attention to what our politicians do, how they misuse the political scene for themselves, and how we had to basically, and I mean, I'm not trying to be negative about the person, but he didn't go to Vietnam because he had bone spurs. You realize how many men had flat feet when they went to Vietnam, but they still went in? Many. Many had bone spurs, but they went in. And it didn't make a difference. It was about the numbers in Vietnam, keeping the numbers up to fight the BC. But guys went over there and they learned to kill people. It was just a thing to kill people. I could shoot you if I was Vietnamese. I thought he was as they call him, gook. Thought he was a gook running around out there, and I shot him. Guy, shoot the man's water buffalo, which is used for his rice paddies. But then you didn't know if you was in there that the person that you're talking to was friend or foe, even though they worked on the base every day. But they could be at night putting on the black pajamas and coming into your facility. There was a lot to learn about Vietnam that I could share with people nowadays. It's so in depth. They would have to just read book after book after book and view video after video after video and see what really happened, how all this transpired, how this war came about. Anything else?
No. Thank you for your time for the interview as well.
You want a picture of my jacket on the back? I can turn around for you.
Yeah, you can show it.
Stand up. And then on the front. This is my command right here when I was in, this is a Cargo Handler Battalion, 13 out of Gulfport, Mississippi. This is the Tonkin Gulf War, Tonkin Gulf. And this is the P-3 Orion that was on. It was like out of New Orleans, it was like the ship, the aircraft that George Bush gave to China. Made them land the aircraft because they got hit by a Chinese aircraft, bumped them, and they had to land because they couldn't control the aircraft, so they landed in Chinese territory, and Chinese took it to court. Mm-hmm. See, even there, that wasn't doing nothing to do with Vietnam, though. Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you.